Here we go. It is the Vol Report with Cooper Mays, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. And Cooper, nice enough to join us. Again, brought to you by City Heat and Air. Integrity Matters, 50 years in Knoxville. So, Coop, it is almost Mother's Day. And I'm curious about your mom. I want to learn a little about your mom and the impact she's had on you because everybody knows probably your dad, Kevin Mays, played for Tennessee. They know your brother, Cade Mays, and you've got a younger brother. It's Camp. Is he 8 years old? Is that right? 10, right
Yeah,
in there?
he'll be 8. June
Okay,
19th.
he'll be 8. So she's kind of the lone lady of the group now. How challenging is that with you guys?
I mean, probably for everybody. I mean, any other person, it would probably be really challenging. I'm sure it's challenging for her, but she handles it really well. It's all she's known, I guess, to a certain degree. So I guess she takes it like a champ.
How would you describe your mom's impact on you as a person?
Yeah, I would say she's had an immense impact on me. That's really so. I'm just like my mom. People have never really met my mom, but me and my mom are just alike. And then usually that breeds a little bit of like animosity between the kid and the parent. Sometimes when people like when two parties are too much alike, but me and my mom get along really well, and that's kind of always been my rock throughout my whole life. So I mean yeah, it's hard to even measure really the impact that she's had on me.
How would you describe her personality for those that don't know?
I would just say like just um whenever there's a storm, like she's the peace in the middle of it. I guess I don't really know how to describe it, but she's very cool, calm, and collected all the time. And you know, if you've ever been around my mom, you know that she's never had a bad day. There's never a day that my mom gets out of bed and just has a bad day. She always makes it a good day. And I think she lives out, a lot of. I mean, she's a huge Christian woman. Like that's where she gets her strength and all of her love and everything. She gets it from the Lord, and she walks that path daily and never really wavers. So I don't really know how she does it, but she's a rock for everybody around her that's ever been around her and people that are around her at all.
How important do you think that is for her when you're out there playing football, which isn't the safest activity in the world?
I shoot, I don't think she really looks at it like that. I mean, I think she's just really proud of where me and my brother have went with it so far, and she's been around it a lot. People don't know this, but her brother is Michael Frog, and he used to start at center here. He played for I think 4 or 5 years here in the mid 2000s, and started some games, earned a scholarship. Pretty soon after getting onto campus. So she's been around it a lot, and then obviously she had my dad. So she doesn't. I don't think she looks at it any type of way, but just proudly.
No, Frog could play as well. So she's a football mom through and through. It doesn't sound like there's any question about that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think I probably wouldn't even call her a football mom. I think she's just a mom. She just is what she is. It's what she was born to do. I feel like.
So are there times in challenging times that she's the one that is she that person that you pick up the phone and call and say, "Hey, what's up?" that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have I don't know. I don't really have bad days. I've been blessed that I've had a really good life. So I usually don't have many times where I'm just sitting here like, oh, I need somebody to call like that. But if it was somebody, it definitely would be my mom.
Well, that's sounds like that's because you have her mentality.
Yeah, it might be it. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that have a lot of stuff wrong and a lot of bad days that are for legit reasons. So I mean, it's hard to find days where you're just truly down and out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're kind of referring to those first world problems. You've
Yeah.
been in other places that are a lot tougher, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of differences in what trouble is here and other places that I've been for sure.
So I wonder how much of that gratefulness that you're kind of referring to comes from her as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, she just I don't know. I feel like that's kind of been my mentality is just to be like an easy kid to raise and kind of I guess I got that, from her a little bit. She's really easy to get along with and really, just good to be around. There's nobody that has a bad time because of my mom, and I've kind of strived to be that. So, that's just kind of how I try to live my life.
So you were the easy kid to raise. Was Kate any different? Was he more of a challenge?
I mean, probably more than me. I don't know, but I don't know. I think like a lot of like I think I've talked about it on the show before, but like a huge thing in my life was just like I kind of just I realized at a young age how like stressful life was, like for not for me, but like how stressful life was for people that actually were, in charge, like our parents and stuff. Me looking at my parents, I kind of understood at a young age what they were going through and whatever it was. Like it's hard making money in the world and it's hard, just making ends meet and everything. So I kind of just saw all that and I just realized that I didn't want to be that kid that was bringing trouble to their parents while their parents were trying to make a living and trying to send you to school, keep up with the house and all these other things that they were had to deal with. I didn't want them to have to deal with me on top of that.
And it's neat because Camp, you said, is about to turn 8. I want to get an update on Camp because I think he's starting to show up in like the, I guess it would be like the 2035 recruiting list. We'll see, but the whatever year that would be. But um, just in terms of your mindset, day in and day out, your even kill mindset. How how important has that been to serve you through the ups and downs? Because there's been ups and downs with this program as well.
No doubt. I mean, there's ups and downs in life every day. It's just kind of how you roll with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's been really good for me. It's helped me a lot in life just in general because no matter what situation you're kind of put in, you never really know how it's going to affect you in the end. So you can't really judge whether it's good or bad in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So there's obviously some bad stuff that happens, but it's about how you react to it. So I think that's a big thing in football. Like there's so much bad things that do happen and can happen on a game day or just practice or whatever in general. And you just got to make do with it and you just got to move on and figure out how to, finish the job, even though things didn't go perfect.
Let's get to a long time trend in football and especially college football. I want to ask about your running backs that run behind you. It's brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. Integrity matters 50 years in Knoxville. City Heating and Air Conditioning is your home. And I know the temperatures are going to get warm. Some HVAC units are going to go down. Some people just say you got to have a whole new unit. That's not necessarily City Heating and Air Conditioning. They'll make the right call. May just be a part. May not need a whole new unit. So back when I was your age, it was pretty much one tailback in a particular offense, be it college or pro, would get the vast majority of the carries. You're probably too young to remember that.
No, I didn't.
Um, but now it's usually a group of tailbacks. So having a fresh guy in there, and you guys do, and I want to break them down one by one, but having a fresh guy in there, how taxing is that, do you think, on a defense?
I mean, it's the same. It's kind of the same premise as us, us O linemen going against the fresh rotation of D linemen halfway through the drive. I mean, there's just nothing more demoralizing than you being like dog tired and then them rolling in a whole new group of fresh people, or in your case, what you're talking about, a whole new fresh running back that's not tired. So, I mean, I think it's huge personally, the way I look at it. I'm not sure if linebackers see it the same way or whatever, defenders see it the same way, but, having a fresh and equal capable running back run in is devastating for a defense, especially if they're wore out and tired.
Especially if they're fresh and they get that extra yard. I mean, when you're in a drive and it's first down and you guys have a decent push, how different is it for a yard as opposed to a guy who's able to push or make somebody miss and pick up 3 or 4 yards? How much easier does that make second down and the drive moving forward?
Well, it's huge for our offense, especially because first and second down are such big downs for us. You don't really want to get you never in our offense with the tempo. You don't ever want to be in a spot where you're in third and long or third and medium to long. So, I mean, a couple yards is a huge difference. I mean, if you get 2 extra yards on your first and second down runs, that's 4 yards. That's almost half the chain length. I mean, football, you hear it talked about. Football is a game of inches. So, I mean, when you can get yards, that's even more added on. So that's the difference of the game right there. You never know when the difference is going to be made by an extra yard or two.
Do you pay attention to really who's in the backfield? Does it affect at all how you block who's actually getting the ball?
No. I'll maintain my position. You don't really know what's going on back there. It's pretty crazy. The stuff just goes too fast for you to really like. I mean, maybe one day you'll account for something like that. I guess if we had just a behemoth of a back and then like, Dylan Sampson running there, I mean, I guess you could block different for those guys. But, I don't know. No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, the reason I was asking that is, do you guys, and I don't think you do because they're not that vastly different, but I think of like Jalen Hurd and Alvin Kamara. You remember those guys? I'm
Yeah. See that's a bigger kind of difference though. I feel as if personally, if you look at our backs, I mean, it's Dylan Sampson, Jalen Wright, Jabari. Those three guys are core three guys that are going to be getting a lot of the carries. They're all around the same size and have around the same skill set. They're big on making people miss and running hard, hitting the hole hard, and they all have really good vision. So they all kind of run similar. But I definitely see if you have a guy like Jalen Hurd and a guy like Alvin Kamara, you could block differently for him.
I feel like we know a lot about Jabari because he went into last year and we all knew he needed to put on 15 pounds. He did it. That helped him in a lot of different ways. You know what it's like to play undersized, and that helped him. And we've talked a lot about Dylan Sampson. There's something I want to hit on him about, but Jalen Wright, I don't feel like we've talked about nearly enough to be as productive as he was last year. What is it about Jalen's approach to the game that you like?
Uh, you just know when Jalen's getting the ball, you know that he's going to run with the mentality that you need. He's going to finish plays off, and he's going to have an intensity about himself. I love that about Jay Wright because he brings a little bit of flavor to it. I guess a little bit. I don't know. You can tell when somebody's intense and when they just bring a little bit of energy to the field with them. And I think he's one of those guys. I think we've got guys like that all over the field. But I think he's also one of those guys that, just has a little bit of extra to him that, when it's game time, he means business.
What do you mean by the energy? Not necessarily in the play, but can you kind of feel that in the huddle when he gets his chance?
Yeah, I don't know. Jalen's he's funny. He talks a lot. He's always energetic, and I think it's kind of showed up as he's gotten a little bit older and you know kind of just learned kind of how to play the game, and he feels a little bit more comfortable. So, but you just know that all of our backs are going to do a good job of hitting the hole, and they're all going to make people miss. And I I'm just a huge fan of our running back room in general. Like all those guys are my best friends. I'm honestly those three are some of the guys I'm close with on the team in general, the whole team.
Wait, so you call them some of your best friends. If they're smart, they're going to be your best friend. They're going to go out of their way to be nice to you because you're the one that's going to determine how successful they are. They may be playing you, Coop.
No, I'm gonna do my thing regardless, whether I like you or not. But I will say those three guys are awesome. I'm a huge fan of Jabbar. I'm a huge fan of Jay Wright, Dylan Sampson. I've always been a huge fan of since he got on campus. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of those guys. I'm in their fan club.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Jalen's the energetic one. Jabari, I mean, we only see him in press conference situations, so I mean that really doesn't tell me anything about a person. But how would you describe his personality and approach to the game?
Me and Barry are actually really similar. We're in every class together this semester, but like me and Jabari have been really close for about 2 years now, and he's a guy that's kind of he's not the loudest, most vocal guy, but he's always working hard, and he's one of the hardest workers in the room. And you know that he means business, and you know that what he's going to produce when he gets on the field. And honestly, people don't talk about it enough. He's really good in pass protection too. So, but he does this thing regardless. Me and Barr are really close though. He's one of my best friends, but he's more standoffish a little bit. Just keeps to himself a little bit more, which I really respect. I'm like that too sometimes, so I can really respect that.
I'm being silly, but when you all walk to class, do you walk ahead of him?
No, we walk side by side. No, we get Chick-fil-A after every class, or let's see, after the first class of every day, I guess.
Okay, but you don't clear the lane to the pickup line, do you?
No, there's not a lot of people on campus, man. So many online classes and stuff nowadays. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, so we talked about Dylan Sampson too. I just feel like that he is. It's not like he's an unknown. He made plays last year. I just feel like that's the guy. If I had a pick, that makes the biggest jump from last year to this year, which is saying something because he was already good. I just feel like that's my guy. If I had to pick one guy, am I crazy?
Yeah, no, I don't think we saw nearly what he could be last year. I think more of that will show this year, but I mean, he's a really special kid, man. He's like all around human being, from football player to student to just friend. I mean, just an all around great guy, and especially for a young guy too. Like I remember the first time I ever met or saw DSamp. Like I guess to a certain degree, I didn't know who. Like sometimes freshmen just come in. I think he came in during May, which usually when people come in during May, you don't really see them till like a week or two in. Like sometimes they just slip by you and you don't know everybody. And we went into we were just like running around, us players, like running through some of our plays or whatever, just going through calls, and he knew every single signal or call or whatever.
Wow.
And I thought it was really remarkable because as a young guy, it's hard. You got so much other stuff to think about than like what the pass pro calls are as a running back and stuff. And he just knew. He just went right with it, just knew everything and was on his stuff very early on. And I kind of commented on, I don't know if he remembers, but I told him that was some serious stuff, and that was really cool to see from him.
Yeah, I'm sure you said serious stuff.
Some serious stuff right there. It was.
I bet
it was some serious stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what. This is some serious bleeping is what that was. So when you see a running back take pride, so are you telling me? Let me go back. Are you telling me he was pretty good at pass pro, like pretty much showing up on campus, like all fall?
Well, not you talking about DSamp?
Yes.
Not the actual physical portion of doing the pass protection, but like he knew all the signals and calls. So it was just more the mental stuff, which has shown me that he had been up there, taking his extra time off, studying, asking coaches, "Hey, what's going on here? What's this signal? What's this?" You could tell he had put extra in that no normal freshman is gonna know everything just like off the bat, just like that. And he kind of knew it really early on, and I took notice of it. I don't know if anybody else really did. I think Coach Golis was there with me and kind of took note of it too. But he's a really special kid. I'm really excited to see what he'll do throughout his whole career here. I think Tennessee fans will be really excited that we had Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, but I think Alex Golesh said that's some serious stuff.
Serious stuff. The most serious of all things.
When you're a guy that's up there getting his nose bloodied all the time and hitting people, and you see a running back take pride in pass pro, I mean, that's got to win you over. That's got to endear themselves to you, right?
I think it shows where somebody's heart is. You know what I'm saying? I think me personally, like the way I look at a running back, I mean, me personally, I take pride in helping people. Like I feel like that's my spot, and like that's kind of my niche here. Like I found my role, and that's kind of just helping everybody. But backs could play a part in that in dang near every single pass protection play. Like sometimes they have routes which stops them from doing it. But a lot of times, when a O lineman's getting beat, if he gets beat clean, if I was the running back, because I'm a pal, I'm stepping in and throwing a shoulder and stopping that momentum maybe before I get out on my route. I see a lot of guys in our backfield. They do that whenever they get the chance, and that's the difference in games like Alabama and Georgia and stuff like that. Is there's a heightened level of awareness and aggression that you get in games like that, and I think that shows in a guy's character if he's willing to take a beating to protect his quarterback as a running back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said you're a pal. What's a pal?
Like a PAL, like a pal.
Oh, a pal. Okay, I thought that was a
Be a friend, be a pal. You know
okay, I thought it was
be a
like
buddy.
I thought it was like a football term. I didn't know like you like to hit people. He's one of those pal guys.
No, like PAL. No.
Okay. I thought I picked up on something. Apparently not.
Well, now you do. You picked it up now.
There, let's start something. Yeah, if we start it right now, it could take off. That's one of those pal players. He'll hit you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love it. All right. Cooper Mays again. Tell your mom happy Mother's Day and what she means to you and what she's meant to your career. Shoot, my man.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, like you're talking to your mom.
I was gonna call her, probably tell her, write her a note, but
yeah, this is it. This is your card. I just saved you like $2.50.
Well, I mean, I feel like I already went through that. I already told her she's my rock and everything. Anyway, she's Mom, you're my rock. I love you very much. You know how much you mean to me.
Oh, man. I'm gonna tear up, man. He's Cooper Mays. I'm Dave Hooker. The Vol Report brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. Integrity matters.